Rank-and-file members of the Labor Party are embracing the leadership vote after years of complaining that they've been isolated from the decision-making. From Melbourne, Karen Percy finds out what members can expect.
Over 10 years, Nicola Castleman has worked hard in campaigns, electoral offices and as a staffer for a local MP. Last week's election loss was disappointing, but she sees the leadership vote as a step forward.
I think it's exciting. I think that anything that broadens the franchise, even internally, is a good move, and I'm looking forward to whatever that throws up. Really, it's something positive for the party.
Lev Lafayette is also a long-time Labor supporter, with 2 decades volunteering in various party roles.
At times you can get the feeling that the branch members and the rank and file are there without any sort of real strong input into the major policy decisions or to the leadership.
Later this month, at least 30,000 ALP supporters will take part in the vote.
The nominations I opened this morning. The nominations will stay for 7 days. At the conclusion of that, we will make preparations now for having a national ballot of ALP members.
In order to avoid vote stacking at the branches, eligible voters must be able to prove they've held continuous membership for at least 2 years. Members will receive their ballots from September 24th and will have 2 weeks to return their votes. The caucus vote will be held sometime between the 9th and 13th of October. While the vote is underway, neither side will know the outcome of the other.
At the conclusion of that, I'll determine the percentage vote to each candidate, and I'll divide that percentage in 2. I'll similarly conduct a vote of the caucus and determine the percentage vote to each candidate at the caucus meeting, and again divide it by 2. I'll add the result for each candidate together, and the candidate that breaks 50% will be declared the winner.
The vote will be historic, but backbencher Kelvin Thomson says the party needs to go further to truly democratise.
I don't think it's sufficient in and of itself, and I certainly don't want to see it lead to or reinforce that trend towards making Australian politics presidential, the idea that we just elect a leader and then leave everything to them. I think that's fundamentally undemocratic, and that leads to poor decision making.
Long-time party members like Lev Lafayette also want greater reform.
It could be part of a wider process where local branches will be able to really contribute to those national policy debates and basically, harness the power of community organisations.
This might be a first for Australia, but there are plenty of precedents around the world. Political parties in the United Kingdom, the United States and in Canada all give their members a say in who leads them.
I'm not so concerned with the outcome of who's leader, because I would get behind any leader. I think that the nature of their election does matter, though, because that does give them legitimacy.
I think that it is extremely important that we get behind and support our parliamentary leaders, and we can't afford to have a culture where they can be knocked over.
The next month will determine if the leader of the future can avoid the problems of the past. Karen Percy, Lateline.
An Indian judge has handed the death penalty to